Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And continuing the countdown videos, we are now at 5 days until the quote unquote start of the 3.5 anniversary. And today's login screen features GAZEL and ELMESIA. So, we have some units for that. We don't have a lot of units for that, but we certainly have a few. Let's get to some team building and let's figure out a place that we can use them together, quote unquote. Okay, well, we have the perfect team to use them on because we have the Divine General team. Everybody's favorite anniversary team that is not annoying to run in any way, shape, or form. But it does have Protector Elmesia, and it does have GAZEL. So it fits the criteria, and we're going to go into a very green-focused stage, which is the Exalted Champions rerun versus Soe. And we're going to do everything in our power to take the stage out. So let's get started. This might be the only team we use because this team takes so fucking long to use. So let's just jump in. Alright, and because GAZEL is not a double orb changer, we can't actually get a full hand of greens turn one, which is just heavily, heavily unfortunate for everybody involved. But, you know, depending on how the orbs actually play out here, we can probably get away with a halfway decent run. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to turn 8, because after turn 5, Soe starts to pretty much one-shot people, and we're not built to survive that. That's actually a very good hand right there. I'm actually quite grateful for that. Only one Blanc orb, which is kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? Let's do a stack here. Let's do a 20-point green buff, and then we'll bring GAZEL in for probably Diablo, yeah. And then we'll do one convert at that cost, and then we'll reset with Elmesia, and then that'll bring him back down to 15 points, and then we can use another stack of Raphael as well. So boom, boom. And do we... No, let's bring in the hero right now, just so we don't get all these orbs for GAZEL. Getting an ult for GAZEL is probably the worst feeling in the world for this team, so let's not do that. We do have an ult for Raphael, which is a good start. I would like an EX ult. We're not going to ever benefit from the Enamor from Soe, because there you go, he just removes it. But at least we can pierce this stage, because normally Soe has pierce resistance. But because Elmesia, if we use him properly on the nuke turn, we can get around that. So that's pretty good for us. Do we dare rewind here? You know what? Let's go ahead and rewind early. We're not going to be able to do it. I mean, I guess I could have done it turn 4. That may have been a bit easier for us to do. But this will at least help us get a Blanc ult. Let's do another green buff right there. We haven't reset him at all. Not a big deal. We have to convert 4 orbs here, so let's do one of those. We should have just enough points to do that after resetting. And then it all banks on what the turn 3.5 actually is going to look like. So orb change. We can at least use one Raphael. Oh, we're actually not going to have enough to get a full hand. That's what we get for having a 40-point green buff. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and do this. I mean, at least they're all Blanc and Raphael orbs. That's a plus. And we do get a reset back out of it. So we can do something. And then if we get the EX ults with both Raphael and Blanc on this turn, we could send them away and then use some buffs. And that is... one... We should be able to do that. I don't know if we're actually going to get a Blanc ult, though. We only have one orb for her right here. We have a lot of Raphael. Boom, boom. Okay. I mean, even if we don't get a Blanc EX ult, it's not the end of the world. 1, 2, and then one more stack there. The weakness resistance down that we could put stacks on from Blanc's ult swap means absolutely nothing. Oh, so close. If we actually got the Enamor effect, we'd be looking pretty good. We just have to leave her in for one more turn, which should be fine, because this will give us some extra things to build up as well. And we can take Raphael out, technically. It's just we're going to miss some stacks with him, which is kind of unfortunate. Can we get a... Oh, that's fine. Okay, so alt swap there. Yeah, there's not really much we can do here, because we need GAZEL. I want Blanc to get the EX alt, so we're going to have to sacrifice Raphael stacks. So let's finally reset Diablo. And then we can orb change. And then turn 5 could be a bit interesting. We could probably nuke on turn 6, and we can get away with a few things here. So turn 5 is going to be our setup, and then turn 6 will nuke, and hopefully no one is dead by that point, because now we have full buff, and we have way too many skill points, so that's good. There's the EX alt, 300. So alt, pierce, synergy, and the dark attack. 9, 18, 27, 360 points. We're not going to quite have that, but what we can do is we can bring the hero. So alt swap, boom, and then send you away for the hero. We'll use the pierce buff early that way, and the synergy buff, technically, we can get away with that too. Yeah, and then we'll just send this hand after we convert it, and then we should have enough points next turn to then use the dark and the alt buff, and then turn 6, hopefully nobody's dead. Hopefully. Even if someone does die here, I think one of the single target alts will be enough to kill. And I think that should be okay. Because we should make back all our points. Yeah, okay. So please don't kill anyone. I don't think he gets very scary until turn 6. This turn is the end of the fight. 70k, 63k. That's fairly good damage. Yeah, that's acceptable. And then there goes those, and then he alts, and he does 11,000. Oh, please don't kill him. Okay, alright, yeah. See, now he gets scary with that attack buff and the water buff. So now we have to kill. We have to kill him right here, right now. So, that's a lot of GAZEL orbs. That's now a lot of Blanc orbs. And then we already have the pierce buff, so the hero can go away. And then we will use the dark and space buff, the alt buff, and then we can reset over and over and over. No, well, not over again, but we could reset and then use the Raphael buff as much as we can here to really just put Soe in the dirt. So 1, 1, 1. How many actual stacks are we getting out of this? Like 4? How many points? 170? We might get 5. So that's 2. And 3. Yeah, I think we actually get 5 stacks. And 4. No, I'm a liar. We only get 4. Because I'm bad at math. We get a full hand, though. I kind of want to see how much a Blanc orb does. I don't think they'll actually kill if we do that. Although they might. She's kind of buffed up. Alright, well, whatever. Diablo, yeah, you're not going to do anything. Blanc orbs. 227k. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good. So 400, 500k, 454. And then the Blanc alt does 6 million damage. Okay. Soe has 3 million HP on Inferno 3, which is what we're on. So 6 million, type neutral, not turn 8, not getting the extra damage buff from Protected ELMESIA against wind enemies. Acceptable. Not mind-blowing, but acceptable. Do I want to use another team, though? Do I want to put myself through another ELMESIA team? We can try. Okay, we're going to go into the Wielder of Magic stage. Now, I know that GAZEL is not here. You'll have to forgive me if there's only 2 goddamn GAZELs in the game. So, because we used both GAZELs technically last team, and the Light GAZEL and Earth GAZEL, Light being there for the protection gauge, I figured we can go a stage without him. So we're going to bring ELMESIA as a support character for Fire Shuna, because ELMESIA gives Earth and Fire characters the extra ult damage. We're going to run an orange team with Himmel. We're going to bring Tempest Elite Shuna to give Pierce rate and Pierce power technically, which is technically why Ronga's here, but also he's got the extra skill points on oranges, which we're not going to need because of Himmel. Just realizing that now. But I do want a turn 1 orb changer dedicated, so let me flip ELMESIA and Shuna there. And then this Shuna will nuke, and then we brought Raphael for the orange convert, the triple orb steal, the attack buff. And, let's see if Shuna can actually do 1.7 million damage on this team. She's got a magic buff, she'll have pierce, she'll have attack, she'll have the element buff, she'll have the ult and the ult down. I feel like we're in a good spot, but I could be heavily mistaken. Alright, so this is why we brought Ronga turn 1. I mean, we could have also brought Cleash, technically, and she would have just converted those just in general. But Ronga, since he's doing double duty with the orb change and the skill points here, so maybe if you don't have Himmel, you could run somebody else. Like, you could bring the Wielder of Magic Milim Protector, and that would work, technically. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have Himmel active because we don't have any starting protection gauge. We'll get a little bit here because of our supports on turn 2, but I don't know if it's going to cover that much. Oh, I mean, that does work, though. That certainly does work, and we get a decent amount. It's not a Himmel, but we did get 3 Fire Shuna orbs, which means that we actually have 6 Raphael orbs, which is going to give us that extra protection gauge. So that's pretty good. And then since we don't have Himmel, let's use the skill point increase for 50%, and that will get us off to a pretty good start here. Yeah, I don't really feel like bringing ELMESIA in for this. Let's just do that. 70 points... 50% skill point increase versus 500% skill point increase. Drastic difference right there. But we do have Himmel now. So we can do this. Let's steal again. Boom. And then we're going to have 5 orbs for Shuna, which will get us the EX ult, because she's already got quite a bit of ult gauge. And then we can convert those other 3 orbs to oranges with Himmel. And we don't need to watch that. But this does get us the full 6-hand send, and now we don't need Ronga's skill point gain because we're being horribly outclassed on that aspect. But there's the EX ult for Shuna. Again, is she going to do 1.7 million? We need the points to even get there. We might as well nuke on turn 5, so we're going to go one more turn. He's going to change those 3 greens. Boom. And then we have Shuna, so she can ult swap 3 orbs to blue, which would give us 2 right there. And we have Himmel again. So let's go ahead and do the Pierce buff, since that's going to be active for multiple turns now. And at that point, we have that skill, we have that skill, we have that skill. So 8, 16, so 250 points is what we're going to need, and we're going to make that back easily. So we should be ready to go. But also, I do want another stack of Himmel. So let's do this. Let's take you out, and then we'll just steal again, because we're going to make all those points back. And this will give us the protection gauge. And there we go. That's what we're looking for. So Raphael, sure, we'll watch it. Why not? We got time. Oh, all right. Put your bets in now in the comments. Is Shuna actually going to do 1.7 million damage? Or, slightly less, because we've taken some HP off of Shizu. I'm hoping so. I'll be depressed if she doesn't, because that means I have to do this again and change the team up a bit. Not what I want to do here. I kind of want to be done recording. I've had a busy weekend. I've had a very busy weekend, so I'm kind of just ready to chillax and not record anything until tomorrow night when the Calamity Conquest comes out. But, okay. So you can come in for Shuna? Or Ronga? It doesn't really matter now, does it? We'll bring you in for Shuna. And then we can bring ELMESIA in for Ronga. We don't need either of his skills. These are all oranges anyways. So buff, buff, and buff. And then we can use one more stack of Himmel. I feel like we should be able to do it. And if not, then we have Raphael to back us up, who is not going to get the alt damage, but will still get the alt down, the attack buff, the element buffs we've been getting. So we're up to... No, not you. We're up to 70% alt damage right there, and then on Shuna herself, we've got 3 stacks, plus an attack barrier. Okay, that's fine. Pierce power, pierce rate, attack. Weakness strike means nothing because they're not type advantage. Magic attack. I feel like we should do this. This will be a good telling thing. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll send the alt. Depending on what Shuna's normal orb does, we'll kind of get an idea. That's awful. 51k. That's not great. What are we doing here? 52. Alright, Shuna, time to hurl a giant rock. Most of our damage is coming on the ult, so we're not going to see that translate to the normal orb damage. Maybe? Oh, thank God. Just barely. Just barely. 1.6 million, and Shizu has 1.7 and change. Oh, man. Okay, well, thank Jeebus that it actually worked. But that's cutting it real close. But, there we go. So we've used GAZEL and ELMESIA successfully in various circumstances, I guess as you can say. But that is that. We've got 5 more days until the countdown, or until the quote-unquote start of the 3.5 anniversary. Let me know what you guys think, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later. Why the fuck do you have Firm's gear on? What the... Okay, never mind. Whatever. Goodbye.